Good morning. Thank you, Mayor Dr. Rojali, for making the time today. It is so nice to meet you again. Actually, it's been exactly a month since we last met at WeGO 5th National General Assembly. And with your unique and charming orange beard, I was able to recognize you out of hundreds of screens of participants during the GA. Also, thank you very much for your kind letter of congratulations on my recent appointment as the Secretary General of WeGO. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And Seberang Perai made wonderful contributions since the city joined WeGO as a member in 2012, and today the city is playing a key role and has a dual position. Your city was re-elected as one of the exec committee member and was newly elected as one of the vice president cities of WeGO at the 5th General Assembly. So how do you feel about taking these important roles at WeGO?
Thank you for the appointment. We are very grateful to the appointment as a Vice President of WeGO. I would like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to Ms. Jung So Park, to you as a Secretary General, very efficient Secretary General, be able to form and call a General Assembly during pandemic COVID-19. That is extremely successful assembly. And I also would like to thank the President City of Seoul, Member City of WeGO for giving me the opportunity to be a Vice President. And I hope with my experience, 31 years in local authority and 8 years in federal government, we shared with the local authority all over the world. And I think all of us have our own best practices that can be shared in this forum. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for Mayor Rosali. Actually, I'm sure that you are really wonderful role for WeGO. And also this so encouraging to hear. As you may know, the COP26 was just concluded last week, November 13th in Scotland, and adopted the Glasgow Climate Pact, highly emphasizing the need to accelerate efforts to reduce emissions to keep 1.5 degree in reach. And so I found Seberang Perai's recent publication, Achievement in Low Carbon City and Smart City, so substantial. And I'm sure it will boost the city's momentum in tackling this global agenda of climate change. So today, I'm excited to learn more about the Smart City Seberang Perai's strategic directions that lead the cities to become a low carbon city by 2022, carbon neutral city by 2030, and zero carbon city by 2050. So, Mayor Dr. Rosali, could you please share more details with us about Seberang Perai's smart city vision and strategic direction for becoming a zero carbon city?
Thank you very much for the question. Seberang Perai has a clear vision to be a resilient, inclusive, green, competitive, and technology-driven smart city. The vision was came out when after 2017. It started in 2018. After we faced the big disasters, all over Seberang Perai was flooded. Then the residents came out with a suggestion that resilience should be first. That's why in our vision, resilience was put it in front, and followed by the green, competitive, and technology-driven smart city. With this vision, we have to set a clear strategy to be achieved within 10 to 15 years ahead. By 2022, since we set our vision was in 2018, by 2022 we should be a low carbon city with certain KPI to be achieved, and zero neutral carbon city by 2030 and zero carbon city by 2050. That is a very long planning, but it will take into consideration what are the local issues and also the people perception, and we change it from time to time. As what we always embrace, planning is not really a rigid document. It will be taken into consideration local and presence or current issues from time to time. Over to you.
So your clear vision, concrete plannings that must be part of a reason for your success. I noted that Seberang Perai's achievements for the past years are incredibly impressive, and especially in the reduction of carbon emissions of 34% of reduction since 2016 in 5 years. That is a significant amount. I have no doubt Seberang Perai will be entitled as a low carbon smart city by 2022. So what do you think made it possible for Seberang Perai to achieve such accomplishment, and in order to become a carbon neutral city by 2030 and zero carbon city by 2050? What further action will Seberang Perai take?
Thank you for the amazing question. Seberang Perai Smart Sustainable City focus on combination of soft capital, such as human and social capital. We focus on soft capital, such as human capital and social capital, which are the pillar of the sustainable strategy. And a second focus is on the city physical infrastructure, combined with technology utilization in order to deliver a sustainable, livable, and efficient city. So in order to become a carbon neutral city in 2030, Seberang Perai set 11 key performance indicators to be achieved. As we know, the smart city, low carbon city, sustainable city is a very wide topic. We will not be able to achieve in a very short period of time, but we must set a KPI so that it become indicators whether we have achieved the certain target within stipulated of time. So in Seberang Perai, we have set 11 target to be a low carbon city and smart city. The first one is to increase recycling rate to 70%. Now we almost come close to the 70%. And second is to reduce solid waste generation from 1.6 kilo per person per day to 0.8 kilo per person per day. The third is to reduce greenhouse gases emission by 50%, from 8 tons carbon dioxide equivalent to 4 tons carbon dioxide equivalent, which is equal to capacity of world capacity to handle carbon globally. The fourth is, in order to reduce carbon emission, as we know, the electricity are the greatest or the most sector that produce carbon in the world. So we need to install LED street lamps 100% all over the city. Fourth is to establish a central business district with transit-oriented development. What I mean by central business district with transit-oriented development is to identify a suitable location, and we will increase the density of that location so that people can live, work, and stay there, and they can walk to their places of to the working places and to the places of interest. For the intercity traveling, they need to use public transport and commuters, so that within city to city will be a 20-minute traveling time. Number 6 is the implementation of Seberang Perai Economy Roadmap and Action Plan. This is a new approach during the pandemic COVID-19. As we know, the linear model, the product that is produced by the factory or the production's units will be used and thrown into the dustbin. That is a linear model. Produce, use, and throw away. But the circular model is a circular product, produce, use, and reuse back, or reimagining into a new product, so that the material, the raw material will be used over and over with a different image. So the circular economy is a new approach that we need to explore, and we need technology to expedite the implementation of circular economy in Seberang Perai. And that will also become a focus or the strategy for economic bounce back during the COVID-19. Number 7 is virtual service or cyber counter. During the COVID-19, most of the office was open, was not open. I mean, the counter was not open. The services was forced to be given online. So during 1.5 years or 1 and 10 months from the 2020 until now, we came up with 100 services offered online using technology, using e-wallet, and using all the available system that we have now. So that will help local people to apply for the license online, get their business license, and do business as usual. And for the other residents, they want to make a complaint, they can still lodge a complaint because they cannot go out from their home, or they are limited movement, and then they can do it at their convenience time, at any time that are convenient to them. We also target to plant trees, 100,000 trees and 15,000 annually, because as we know, and everybody already aware, trees is a good carbon sequestration, and we will also produce oxygen which are needed by us, and also to becoming an area that is beautiful and buffer for the industrial and residential area. And number 9 is 50% of energy consumption should come from renewable energy. This is imperative, because we cannot rely on conventional energy which use carbon that produce carbon, a lot of carbon emission. So we have to go for the renewable energy that is ample, especially in Seberang Perai. We are having a very sunny day almost every day. I think similar to Seoul, almost all time bright and sunny. And number 9 is 100% LED street lamp. And number 10 is 100% LED street lamp. And number 11 is we created a 20-minute neighborhood city within the Seberang Perai. 20-minute neighborhood within the Seberang Perai city. When we talk about 20-minute neighborhood, is actually we plan an area to be every local daily needs will be available within 20-minute walking and cycling. 20-minute neighborhood doesn't talk about sitting on car or drive on car, but we are talking about how we plan our local neighborhood so that people can cycle, convenient to cycle, convenient to walk, to get the daily needs within a 20-minute time. And the successful story that we have achieved within almost 5 years, so when we started planning, by using technologies or integration of technologies, the people, the government, we make it possible, and Seberang Perai has achieved the highest recycling rate in my country, in Malaysia, 55.91%, very close to our target 70%. Domestic waste was reduced by 6.9%, and average 50,000 trees was planted, and until now 97,981 trees was already planted. Per capita carbon emission was reduced from 8 ton carbon dioxide equivalent to 6.3 ton carbon dioxide equivalent. A bit, well, our target is 4 ton, a bit longer, more time, more effort needs to be done so that we can achieve 4 ton carbon dioxide equivalent. Whatever it is can be reduced. By doing all those activities, it has been reduced from 8 to 6.31 tons carbon dioxide equivalent. And we have completed 90% 20 minutes neighborhood townships within the city. And we have identified 7 CBDs with the transit-oriented development concept to be developed for the next 10 years. And we have launched Seberang Perai Circular Economic Roadmap and Action Plan by my Chief Minister of Penang, Right Honorable Chow Kun Yeow, in September recently. So finally, we came up with this book. It's 75 pages of report card for the residents of Seberang Perai to read, digest, and I'm willing to listen.
Wow.
That
I
improvement.
Yeah. Yes, I would like to learn more about your vision and your plan through that book. And then each of 11 KPI that you just shared really touched on the core issue and will sure make direct contribution to the circular economic action plan. And taking about which we learned that Seberang Perai City Council introduced a smart consumption model to reduce waste and increase recycling rate in 2018. So could you share with us more about this smart consumption model? What are some prominent achievements Seberang Perai has gained through this model? Yeah, actually, it will be great successful model for our community.
The Seberang Perai Smart Consumption Model consists of 8 R's. It's difficult to remember, but it's very effective. The first R is recycle, refuse, reduce, reuse, repair, re-give, recover, and rethink. I would like to put rethink in front, because before we buy something or before we do something, we should rethink whether we have it or not, whether it is at home or not. So rethink should be in front. Anyway, this model was aimed to reduce landfill dependency by 50%. We have to do something. If we do business as usual, the waste generation will increase more than what we are able to manage. So if we don't do anything by year 2030, Seberang Perai will face a serious environmental crisis. That's why we have to do very detailed and very we have to get everybody join us to save Seberang Perai against the environmental crisis. So this consumption model was started with was introduced to the Green School project, Green School campaign to cultivate children attitude toward consumption and efficiently use of natural resources. And also it was brought to the community to educate community to be sustainable, separation at source, to keep surrounding cleaner, greener, to enjoy the good environment and better quality of life. As a result of that, a combination of our strategic plan, a combination of our methodologies, consumption model, this is the results. Again, I want to show on the 74 there was 74 pages that was launched recently.
Okay, you already started your ambitious actions through young people's running or preparing future society. So this is one smart and sustainable model, and I think really brilliant. As you know, the Seberang Perai was selected for WeGO feasibility study and pilot project program in 2016 for smart street lamp and traffic light monitoring system. And the project has been considered as one of smart city best practice. So this year, in order to expand from the previous implementation, we will continue our efforts with the city to apply for external funding. So could you share more about the experience and how WeGo's partnership with Seberang Perai has contributed to the city's smart, sustainable development?
Seberang Perai has been active member since 2012 with WeGo, and we was getting the beneficiary of 2016 Smart Sustainable Feasibility Study Program on street lamp and traffic light monitoring system, which was conducted by the GovTech. And with this program, the three parties can share several years of can share knowledge, having a good discussion, exchange of idea, and it was implemented in one of the strategic locations that was chosen by City Council. Many data was collected and very useful to improve, to go ahead with future smart city planning. And beside that, we also committed to be a digital, to be a smart city, to improve the living standard of our local people. And Seberang Perai also was awarded with digital inclusion by WeGo in 2017. I would like to say thank you to the WeGo and also the member city for the chosen for the awards given to the Seberang Perai. And as we know, the technologies change very fast, rapidly. Today and tomorrow, there are a lot of technology changes, and I would like again to insist that we should go ahead. We should explore more advanced technology in order to develop smart, sustainable city in future. Over to you.
Okay, I'm glad to hear WeGo's endeavor to share knowledge and help build capacity cities is well appreciated. We'll continue to provide projects that help realize the Seberang Perai's smart city plans. And I noticed that there are 5 prioritized domains in Seberang Perai's smart city. And I believe that all the domains are interconnected in various ways. So can you share with us more about the city's smart city priorities?
I always believe the best methodology of carrying any projects, either smart cities or whatever project, is to go back to the community, ask them what is their issues, uh, uh, convey in a language that are easy to understand by the local, and find a solution to the local issues. MBSP priorities is to build a city that can alleviate daily inefficiencies, to provide faster services with simplicity, while empowering Seberang Perai community to live and work in a smarter city environment. The ultimate aims of the smart city is to increase the living standard of the people and to allow people to take part. That is most important. Seberang Perai city aims in future, we want the resident to give their comment on every project, or we need to ask their opinion on every project, every budget presentation, so that their views can be taken into consideration. And to achieve this vision and our ambitious program, we must have a smart people, smart technology, and smart environment so that they can use technologies to express their view. We have identified a local issues, and this is very important for a smart city to solve or find a solution to a local issues. First is flash flood. Although we have many projects, flood mitigation project, but occasionally there are also a flash flood in the city, and is really killing, or is really become a problem to certain hotspot area. And second issue is a traffic congestion. As we know, during the peak time in the morning and after office hours, is always a congestion that become emissions, increase the carbon emission and create tension among local residents, because they have to go fast to the office and they have to come back fast to the family to collect, to get get the children and to send the children to the school. So it's very, when it comes to congestion, is very stressing for the resident, and this is one of the criteria to be improved, so that the local living standard will be improved also. And service delivery, city council service delivery. Fourth is safety, of course. There is evergreen problem, evergreen issues, and economic bounce back. This is very recent. The economic bounce back after it was impacted by COVID-19. And lastly is to reduce waste generation in Seberang Perai, so that it become more sustainable, and all these issues we identified, we talked to the people, and finally it was confined and structured into 5 people strategic initiative, namely smart environment, smart community, smart government, smart mobility, and smart economy. There are 29 initiatives altogether. Some has been implemented, some is in the process of being implemented, and even though it was implemented, there are more rooms to be given improvement, and more initiative will come in for the next 10 years. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing the details of Seberang Perai as a smart city with us. And moving forward, what roles do you expect WeGO to play as your city continue to achieve your goals? And how can WeGO best serve your city in Seberang Perai's smart city project?
Talking about smart cities, we need to training, of course, funding, to create a digital neighborhood, so that within this digital neighborhood, with the facilities, the smart features the smartest people, the smartest technologies will be improved, will be put up to the standard for the purpose of not only for the benefits of people to enjoy getting their daily needs, but we want to create a job opportunities, and we want to create a platform so that the private companies can come in, set their factories, set their research center for the research and development, and came up with the new ideas. So digital neighborhood is very top priorities in my list. So we hope that future training, future cooperation, we can focus on this. And of course, if there are funding that can be injected to Seberang Perai, welcome very much. Second is eco-efficiency or eco-sufficiency or energy conservation. Either using energy more efficiently or reducing the amount of services used so that we can reduce the carbon emission drastically. Number 3 is the integration of flood mitigation and recreational park, so that we can use underground, also we can explore the underground water storage using technologies for flood warning system. That will be very beneficial, very effective way of using spaces as well as for recreational and handling or addressing the flood issues in Seberang Perai. And the number 4 is evergreen issues is always in every cities, a sustainable solid waste management. Even though we have improved a lot, but the issues will always be there. And right now we try to focus. First is to reduce the waste, and we want to make use of the AI, IoT, and cloud computing intensively, so that we can control the waste vehicle moving around, and so that we can collect data, which area, which sector, which category that has produced more waste than the other. And by using that data, we can plan and strategize how to improve on waste production, waste reduction, as well as participation from, how to encourage participation from the all sectors, industrial, commercial, and residents. And number 5 is smart mobility. When we talk about smart mobility, we cannot run away from electric vehicle and public cycling, public vehicle, public transport, and cycling. So in Seberang Perai, we like to use technologies, vehicle technologies, as well as the energy technologies, so that we can mainstream the electric vehicle and also public transport and also cycling. So we hope, Seberang Perai hope that with the commitment from WeGO, commitment from member city, we can strive, we can be success together. Thank you very much.
Sure. WeGO is always ready to support Seberang Perai to take further steps to establish partnership with the global community, including cities in Korea for implementations of smart city projects. And I will do our best to build cities' digital capacity for more sustainable development. And also, this interview is a really good time to learn more about Seberang Perai and communicate to each other what we want and how can cooperate each other further. So thank you again, Mayor Dr. Rosali, for today's interview. And we look forward to working more closely with Seberang Perai in the coming year, 2022. I hope you have a good day and see you again.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.